Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fourth Presbyterian Church of Chicago. My name is John Shear. I'm the organist and director of music, and it is a great pleasure, whether you're joining us in person or online, a great pleasure to welcome all of you to this Friday noontime concert. Every Friday at 12:10, we present a concert. Many are listed on the back of today's program, and a complete listing on our website. And a special invitation to next Friday's organ recital. I will be doing a Halloween concert next Friday, so come prepared to be scared. We greatly appreciate all contributions following today's program, all of which go to continue this concert series. And if you can all just take a moment to check your cell phones and other electronic devices, just to take a moment to turn them off and just enjoy the music for the next hour. And so now, please join me in welcoming Sophie Weber and Inez Irawati.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay? I think that's great. It's wonderful to be here in this beautiful church with my wonderful duo partner, Ines Irawati. Thank you for joining us. We're especially excited today because it's actually the day that our album that we've been working on and recently recorded is being released. It's called Roots, and it's basically a collection of romantic pieces that are all transcriptions of works for different instruments for cello and piano. Some of them are more well-known, some are a little less well-known. If you were wondering when you came in today what this card that you may have been given is about, it's for this album. It's actually got on it a small QR code that you can see, and you can scan that with your camera iPhone if you're interested in buying an album. We actually have, because it will link to, the QR code links to a site that has a shipping fee, so to bypass the shipping fee because you're here and we can just give you a CD if you'd like one, you can put in the promo code CONCERT, just the word concert, and that will bypass the shipping fee. And you can just show us the email receipt at the end. We'll actually be at the back of the church. And would love to say hi. And again, if you'd like to buy a CD, they'll be there, and we'd be very delighted to sign it for you as well, and hopefully share a few words. So, okay, so we are going to play the Shostakovich Cello and Piano Sonata, which is actually not on the album, but is an amazing, amazing piece. The other pieces, The Foray and the Fire, are on the album. So Shostakovich, this is his Opus 40, which was written in 1934. And it was actually written during Stalin's Soviet regime, but just before Shostakovich's music really started to get heavily censored by the state. However, even now, even at this time, you can tell the sort of darkness and the suppression of the regime that's just palpable in the music, especially in the third movement. The musical language that he uses for this work is neoclassical. So this is, I think, highly fitting because it's got this sort of simplicity, a cleanness about it. It's traditional, almost Beethovenian in form, but it's juxtaposed with this kind of aching, very striking dissonances that seem to yearn to break free of the confines of the more classical language. It's in 4 movements. The first movement is sonata form, with a repeating exposition. The first theme, as it begins, kind of you have this sense of this epic tale unfolding, and we don't know where we're going, but we just know this is the beginning of something that's starting, that will take us somewhere. And then the second theme is surprisingly romantic and earnest, and many musicologists kind of put this down to the fact that at the time that Shostakovich wrote this, he was actually involved in a very all-consuming love affair. He was married, but they had an open marriage, apparently, and this was this love affair that he was in, which was really, really consuming, and he wrote, there are some interesting writings online, if you're interested, that talk about how he felt about this woman at the time. So perhaps the second theme is in some ways a reference or inspired by that. The second movement is clean, brilliant, that neoclassicism, again, palpable. It's got this swinging pulse. In some ways, it's like a sort of palate cleanser between the first and the third movements. The third movement, again, you have this sense of the darkness of the Soviet regime, suppression, adjectives like grief, doubt, isolation come to mind. And then the fourth movement returns again to the fast pace of the second movement. So 2 and 4 are both faster movements, but now it's doused in this sort of ironic tone, very, very ironic. Almost like a circus that's gone out of control, or perhaps even an army that's lost control.
How's it going? So we just came from San Diego last night. We apparently brought the weather here, which is great. So that was actually our first time performing that piece. How exciting that was. We, of course, love transcriptions, as you can tell. We're going to have another pieces by Manuel de Falla that was originally written for mezzo-soprano and piano, and we transcribed it for cello. There are 6 pieces out of the 7 that he wrote for the mezzo. And they're all inspired by different folk songs and dances from all over, different regions from all over Spain. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about each one of them. So the first one is El Paño Moruno, or the Tainted Cloth, and it's originated from a folk tune from Murcia, which is in southeastern Spain. And the text says, a tainted cloth has less or no value, sort of referring to someone's purity. And then we have Asturiana, one of my favorites, by the way. This is a folk melody from Asturias, which is a region in northern Spain where there are tall, tall trees, and you can just, when you hear the music, you can feel, in the morning there's fog and mist around, in between the branches. And the text says, I wish the trees will console me. They saw me weep and they wept with me. And then we have Jota, which is a dance from the province of Aragon in northeastern Spain. And this song is about a secret love affair. And usually this type of dance is played by a very small band made out of plucked instruments. So you can hear that in the piano. As a matter of fact, it's amazing how when it's transcribed, we can hear different instruments in the way we play our instruments as well. And then we have Nana, which is a cradle song from Andalusia, a gypsy land in southern Spain, where the sun just beaming through the land. You can feel. It's not a nice lullaby. It's like, oh, please go to bed. You understand that? She just had a baby, so we all understand that. Oh, please go to bed. Yeah. So we have that sort of languid, very just haunting. Cradle song. And then we have Canción, which is based of a real folk melody from all over Spain. The music seems to be very lively and joyful, but the text, though, it says, I'm going to take revenge on you, you unfaithful love. So, and then last but not least is Polo, which is a gypsy flamingo style dance. And in the piano, you can hear the repeated notes, and then occasionally there's this sort of very harsh accents, sort of reminds you of, the flamingo dance doing that. And this, the text says, I have pain in my heart, and I curse the one who made me understand it. So I hope you enjoy it, and this is our last piece. Thank you so much for coming. Please buy our CDs. Christmas coming up, right? Mm-hmm. Yes? Okay, thank you so much. you.